On the profile interview segment this week, I'll be speaking with the Director General of the Nigeria Employers Consultative Association. It tells me that it's important for Nigerians to comply with the new federal government policy, which states that we should buy Nigerian products. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having us once again.
NECA just concluded its 2025 annual job fair. Can you tell us why it's expedient for the organized private sector, specifically NECA, to come up with this initiative at this time?
Thank you for the question. For us, as you will agree, talents are the engine that drives productivity, drives growth. And for us at NECA, we realize that we can't just play the ostrich, leaving the issue of employability to the universities, leaving the issue of employability to government, or leaving the issue of employability to the polytechnics. So our foray into the employability scheme, of which the job fair is one, is to also provide opportunity for young Nigerians to be upskilled and to be reskilled, and then provide a critical opportunity for them to meet employers directly and interact with those employers so that they can get the much desired job or job opportunities that they crave for. Of greater importance to us is not only getting the jobs, because in the employability value chain for us, the students or candidates will go through a 2 to 3 weeks online training in soft skills and different other interventions by our team, so that they are prepared to meet the employers. So for those that peradventure they won't be opportune to get the jobs during the job fair, they're already equipped to try their luck and to try their potentials in other platforms or other job markets. So for us, it's an all-inclusive intervention, all towards addressing the critical issue of employment and unemployment.
During the 2025 NECA job fair, the Minister of Labour and Employment was in attendance, and he spoke about creating enabling policies that would make organized businesses thrive in the country. What is the organized private sector expectations in terms of policies from this present administration?
While we commend the present administration for what it has done, but there is still much more to be done. We still need to take a critical look at the regulatory environment. The regulatory environment is improving, but it's still a bit toxic. We want to commend the intervention of the Honorable Minister for Industry and Investment. We want to commend the intervention of the Director General of PEPEC, Princess Aldu. Commend the intervention of many agencies and other ministries and departments that are doing all they can to promote the organized private sector. And that is what we want basically from government. Make the regulatory environment more temperate, more hospitable, more friendly, in order to make organized businesses more competitive. Make the tax environment, the fiscal and monetary environment much more climate. We thank God and we thank the government that the 4 tax bill has now been passed. Hopefully implementation will commence in the next few weeks. And those are the critical things that we want. And lastly, the Buy Nigeria or Buy the Made in Nigeria policy of the government that was introduced a few days ago. We hope earnestly that government will give that policy the force of this administration, so that the ministries, departments, and agencies, they will do the right thing, patronize Made in Nigeria, and then we build confidence of all Nigerians, so that all of us together will continue to patronize Made in Nigerian goods. That is the solemn cry of organized businesses. And if these are done, you will have positioned the private sector to fulfill its objective of national development, fulfill its objective of job creation, and fulfill its objective of rapid national growth.
The issue of unemployment is not just a challenge that Nigerians are faced with. It's a global challenge. With your experience, serving as one of the board members of the International Labour Organization, what do you think needs to be done to ensure that the market is open for more young people, most especially, to have access to jobs? your organization has come up with an annual job fair. Do you think we should have many other job fairs, or what are the practical solutions to this challenge?
Thank you. I think we'll need to come up with more strategic and more focused plan, and I'll explain. Now, traditionally, for jobs to be created, you need a thriving private sector. Now, the private sector is challenged globally with multiplicity of issues, multidimensional challenges that is facing. But while we continue to strive to resolve the challenges that the private sector is facing, there's also the need for us to be a bit futuristic in the context of our interventions. AI is now the in thing, is already with us, is dominating the employment space. And beyond the issue of creating jobs, for us to keep the wheel of job creation going, we also need to leverage on two fundamental concepts or reality that is facing us now. First is the ICT reality. We need to create a platform for young persons to maximize the opportunity that AI provides, to maximize the opportunity that the internet, the ICT provides, and also maximize the opportunity in the green economy, the circular economy. So while we look focusing on the white collar jobs, focusing on the traditional manufacturing jobs, there are also massive opportunity in ICT, in artificial intelligence, and in the green economy that we must be deliberate to create policies and to support organizations that are poised to create jobs in those environments. According to the HILO, there are millions and millions of untapped jobs, untapped in the green economy. I think it's time for government to also give some attention to the opportunities that exist in the green economy, in the renewable energy space, and in the ICT. For us in NECA, as you're probably aware, we have also delved into the concept of AI. We're currently running a free AI course for young Nigerians, basically to just introduce them to the concept of AI and let them see the massive opportunities and job opportunities that exist within the context of AI. And 2 years ago, the focus of the job fair was basically on green economy. It's on green jobs because there's massive opportunity also in green jobs. So we need to be deliberate beyond looking at the traditional manufacturing services jobs, the opportunity that exists in these two other concepts, these two other realities. I think we need to explore them, and that is the way to go to address the issue of unemployment in Nigeria. Our situation is not peculiar to the situation of Europe, America, or Asia, because we have very young and dynamic population, unlike those continents that the population is already aging.
Speaking about the future, very well, you've spoken about artificial intelligence, spoken about the green economy and the prospects that it has. As an experienced person in the world of work and as a DG of NECA, I'd like to ask, would you say that there are skills gap towards ensuring that there are opportunities within the space that is emerging?
You know, the skill gap is quite alarming. It will surprise you. It is quite alarming, the level of skill gap that currently exists. And you know, for all of us, both employers and the organized labor, I think the time for us to take the issue of reskilling, upskilling, the time for us to face it frontally is now, and even for government, because the world of work is changing, new technologies, in order to reduce the cost of production. And if the workers that are supposed to fill in those gaps are not equipped or trained to fill in those gaps, then you have a big challenge dealing with artificial intelligence. You have a big challenge dealing with automation, because automation, AI, will progressively get some people out of jobs. Even when the world has been shy to come out and say AI will actually knock off some jobs, the reality is, and from recent research, is that 1 out of 4 jobs is at risk of being wiped out, of being taken over by AI. And that's the reality for us. So upskilling In-skilling, reskilling, they are the things that we must take very seriously, because the skill gap that we currently have is quite wide and quite unimaginable.
On a final note, can we talk about the small medium enterprise? I understand that your organization is also looking out for people that fall within this range, trying to encourage entrepreneurs. Why would you say it's important at this point in time, to start engaging small businesses?
Globally, the small SMEs and MSMEs, they're actually the engine of growth, engine of development for any country. The number or the massive transaction that goes on within the context of the MSME, the SMEs, and even delving back to the informal sector is quite alarming. And we believe strongly that to drive this economy, or to aid the rapid rejuvenation of this economy, the rapid renaissance of this economy, we need to give attention to the MSMEs. We started our foray into MSME many years ago, and with the support of the International Labour Organization, we have gone around this country, to the north, to the east, to the west, to the south, training MSMEs, helping them to upskill, and helping them also to position themselves in such a way that they can maximize the opportunity that exists in this economy. So MSME is a concern for us, is an interest for us, and we'll continue to promote MSME.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having us once again.
And that's all we can take on today's edition of the program. Join us next week for a fresh edition of the show. I am Sharon Ijason. Thanks for watching, and remember that labor creates wealth.